Hello everyone, I hope traders and investors alike were green on Friday. In this video we're just going to talk about some charts, but I want to start with inflows on Tuesday, new month, that new money comes in. So keep in mind it could be some good opportunity, a good period to trade, but it may only last for a half an hour and then things can reverse and go back the opposite direction, or it could kick off some decent breakouts here. We do got some charts that are set up to go one way or the other. I mean, that's the way it always is. They can always go one way or the other. No, I'm not saying they're going to go up. I'm not saying they're going to go down. And I'm not recommending anybody to buy anything and hold anything. I'm not recommending you to take any trades off my information. This is just, it's definitely not financial advice. So anyway, let's get down to it. Remember, inflows, they can be fun to trade, but they just don't always last that long. But they can also create some breakouts too. And I'm not sure about the rest of the data this week. I haven't seen that yet, so I do apologize for that. So the put to call ratio is at 73, back into the bullish area. Let's see, the oscillators for the NASDAQ are 73, back positive. The New York Stock Exchange, we are at 83, back positive. That's not a bad look. Breath, Thursday and Friday closed strong. It closed at 858. Would like to see stronger, but at least it was the positive side. And we see a character change there in the MACD flattening out, or that 9, not the MACD, the 9. I'd like to see that turn into positive direction if it is going to go higher. So the dollar's been into a downtrend, took a nice move down here, a strong reversal, but overall still in a downtrend. That's worth keeping an eye on if you watch the dollar for any reason. The VIX, you can see this very head and shoulders tight setup here. Obviously, you got to break the neckline. It's not perfect, but you can see your higher low, each sell pattern setting up. Your MACD is bearish. That does look like it could possibly want to come in. I want to see it clear this 200. I want to see that lower that candle break above the 200 right there. Would like to see that below the 200. So crude is looking ugly here, and I'm sure you can notice it too. Gas prices seem to be on the drop. They are, moving lower. Apple. This chart's a little iffy for me right now. The bands are opening up, but understand this bottom band is just hanging out. So doesn't really not scream any volatility coming into this stock right now because your bands are flat on the bottom. They are drifting open, following price higher, but I want to see them open up in both directions as the move's starting. All right, now hopefully we can see some stuff. I want to try to show some good examples. I got a question to answer on the Bollinger Bands, and I'm looking for a good example. So this is Apple 15-minute charts. Looks like it did sold on Friday. It did try to push back up, still closed, down day. Gold just looks like it's just kind of hanging out here. Looks like we need to spend some time forming the goose head before going in either direction. It can always fail. So this chart tells us the percentage of stocks in the S&P 500 and the New York Stock Exchange that is above the 200 and the 50-day. For the New York Stock Exchange, 70% are above their 200, and 72% are above the 50-day. In the S&P 500, 79% above the 200 and 82% above their 50-day. That's not bad at all. Our advanced decline lines are turned up here. All right, Airbnb, this is a foot. You can see it's trying to put in a higher low W, but right now you got a leg. That's your leg coming down. You got the heel of your foot right here. You can see your arch of your foot. This is the ball of the foot. We're looking to see which way the toes go. Preferably would like to see the toes go up. The MACD is bullish down here in negative territory. Not a lot of power into it, but it is open on the bullish side, but it is in negative territory. Watching those moving averages very closely too, and the bands are coming in. So like right here, the bands are coming in, but right here it is a breakout. You can see when we first broke out, you can see the bands opening up in both directions. Now, the direction that we usually continue to go stays open. The other direction eventually turns because these are designed to follow price action. So you will see this turn. It doesn't mean that the move is over. Hopefully we can find some better examples than that to look at. So yes, when that band does start to turn the opposite direction, that can mean that it's going to continue to go in the opposite direction. We'll try to find a better example and see if we get a better look at it. AMD had this little inverted head and shoulders here on the 15, did not play out. You are seeing a series of higher lows there on the 15. Got to take this area out. You can see it trading in that volume profile. We want it to clear that. As long as it's in that, it's possibly going to chop. Amazon, strong move on Friday. Not that I'm an RSI person, but back into positive territory there. back above 54 or back above the 50 where it's split in half. I'm not an RSI guy. This MACD looks really good. Once again, got a goose head here. Very bullish setup on the MACD, but it is in negative territory. I do like the histogram there growing as well. Watch the zero line on the way up. Avgo. Weekly, that's not a bad looking chart. Here on the daily, you do have a higher low with a close back above the 9. This one's worth watching for a move, for a price as memory move up to this range high, possibly. Watch this range high on the way up, and watch that range high, or watch this candle on the way up, watch that candle. Could be a possible a $10 move there, $8-9 move. Clears that area, we're going to look to go higher. We do have a higher low there. MACD doesn't look terrible, but it did flatten out a little bit. Like to see that open back up as well and give us the beak of the goose head and opening up. AMD daily chart, higher low here. All right, AMD weekly, the 9 and 20 turning down here. We did close below the 50. This is not a great looking chart. We are in a downtrend here right now, and that's not a great looking look. Not sure how the rest of the semis look. I have not looked at any charts. Went through, took some out, didn't even really pay much mind to the charts. I did note that I've already mentioned Lily. I did note a few of them, but I really haven't really looked at them. So this is my first really good look at them. And you can see here where it broke out. And this is what I'm talking about. You closed outside of your bands right there. Your band barely reacted. Come back in, close right back up. It just doesn't look like there's much happening here right now. There's no volatility there, and they didn't really open up. So we want to see those bands open up like somebody's walking through a set of double doors and swinging it open like they own the place. You got a drowning goose there in your MACD as well. Amazon 15-minute chart, nice push higher here on Friday. Very nice candle there. A nice volume coming in. I'm not sure what that move was on, or if they got any news or anything, or I really haven't been keeping up with earnings that well. I think earnings are pretty much past us now. I'm not sure if they had any news on that stock or not. Amazon weekly here, you got the weekly 9 coming down on it. Once again, you see us getting out here, and bands just opened up barely and just kind of flattened right out. Not surprised to see it get back into them. Doesn't look like it really wants to do anything. Looked like a failed move down before it happened, didn't it? I mean, with those bands like that, right? All right, so Apple. Got a goose head here. We're holding above the 9. I like it better above this area here if it's going to go. I like the MACD here for another possible small push. This is the weekly on AMD or Apple, but I want to see a close above that. Not a bad looking chart. We did see the daily. Bitcoin, not surprised. It's been chopping. Coin got a possible 8 cell pattern trying to form here. Looks pretty weak with Bitcoin as well. Bitcoin weekly could have a price as memory trade. You got the 50 right there, but you got this move down here close to 160. It may want to come back in. Watch for a possible 8 cell pattern there. Keep an eye on your Bitcoin prices as well. Bitcoin spikes, you can watch for action. Bitcoin sells, you can watch for action. Cost, still looking pretty decent here. Had a nice pullback, nice run up. Watch those moving averages right there. This band is kind of drifting in. Looks a little lazy right now, moving. The MACD looks lazy as well. Carvana holding the 20. So you get a possible goose head here. It's in an uptrend, so you come up into the top of the uptrend there. You're still seeing a series of higher lows. So on the way down here, we want to see where the low gets put in at on Carvana. Look for that possible reversal. You see your MACD cooling off here as well. So, and like I say, watch for your low to put in on the way in. Watch that goose head forming as well. This is communication sector. Got a W pattern here, a lower low W. Will this pull back and put in a flag? So this could be turning into a possible 2B pattern. That's exactly what a 2B pattern is, a lower low W that flags and then goes higher. You got your moving average, or your MACD there as well. Looks good. You got the goose head forming. XLP, look for a test of the previous range high there. Clear that. We're looking to go higher. There's moving averages look good, but could be tricky there. Dollar General, there's no reason to be buying here yet. I'm guessing earnings or something went south for them. You can see the selling pressure. MACD is bearish. You can see they tried to come for the dip buyers tried to come in and they got smashed. Bearish were able to take it and close lower. Not a good look there for any kind of reversal yet. ExxonMobil trading sideways, still in an uptrend, trading in that somewhat in that channel. FDX had this head and shoulders pattern. We did break down now the head and shoulders, trying to push higher. We need to see a close above. I like to see this at least past the shoulder. I'd like for it to get past that. I just see so many of them push up like this, look like they're getting ready to go to the moon before breaking down. That's just what head and shoulders patterns do. We have a few of them. Google daily, not looking too healthy here. Just kind of looks like it wants to chop. MACD is positive, but it is in the negative area. It's negative. It's in the negative area, even though it looks good the way you do have a bullish histogram and a bullish setup, but we are still in that negative area. I prefer to be above that zero line as I'm going higher. Just don't think it's like a buy the dip type trade. I'm just not a buy the dip type buyer. I don't look at charts like that at all, so I do apologize. This is a nice looking chart. This was recommended to be looked at by a member. It's Honest Company, the Honest Company, HNST. It's a small cap. Back to a range high. So you're testing a previous area of resistance. If we get above that, we're looking to go higher. If we pull back, we're looking to stay. Or if we pull back, we're looking to take profits, get out, wait for the next setup. You may want to pull back and put in. It's in an uptrend right now, high or low. If this fails, then I would, be very careful with it if I was holding it. The Bollinger Bands look great. You can see how that's shooting higher. You can see this changing right here. But it did try to open up on the initial move on both directions, exactly what we want to see. And now that the volatility is determined, it does look like it wants to go higher. This Bollinger Band's trying to chase price, just like what happened here when we broke out. Go higher. Now that can come back in and fail, and this band can turn over and come in. That's not a guaranteed thing that, hey, that's going to go higher. That's just what they do. They spread open when the volatility, when they get that sign of volatility coming into the market, they shoot open and then they go back to following price action. That's just what they do, and it takes some time to look at the little details to kind of understand the behavior. They can be super helpful if you understand their behavior. IWM 15-minute chart could not take out the pre-market high there on Friday. Nice reversal though off the lows. Q's, another nice reversal, closed on the highs of the day. It closed on the highs, not the high of the day, but it closed on the highs. Q's, this is the Q's weekly chart. They read low close week last week, but you can see Friday definitely was able to take some of that back. We just seen the chart. They were to take a little bit of it back. All right, so JP Morgan, nice chart there going higher. If I wasn't in this by now, I'd be looking for a pullback on it, unless you're a short-term trader. Now KRE, not a bad looking chart. Not crazy about last week, but this chart does look like it's trying to go higher. Got a range high, needs to be cleared. Lily, this is a great looking chart. Looks a lot like a lot of the other charts that we're going to look at, except this one had the high close on it and closed above everything. I'd love to see those wicks cleared. Honestly, I'd really like to see those wicks cleared up there. But this is a nice looking chart. So we're going to look at a marked out example of this, but right here, it's part of the cup and handle family. You can see a V bottom. Your V bottom has a handle. So the V bottoms are part of the cup and handle family. They say the probabilities are lower on them than what it is around the cup. None of that matters to me. It's all about the breakout. If it breaks out, on it. Just saying. I would like to see it clear those wicks, but that is a great looking chart. Some of these other ones we looked at are still trading in a lower high, where this one did close for a higher high up there, which is a great sign. That's a sign of a breakout. Meta. You can see the moving averages doing the goose head here. Still looks like it wants to chop until it closes above that 9. And watch that range high up there. This is no trade for me right now. Above the 20 and 9, I'm waiting for it to get out of that area. Then see what it does. Meta's 15-minute. This is Microsoft's daily chart. Closed back above the 9 there. Got some volume coming in on Friday as well. Microsoft closed on the highs. Once again, hit the high in pre-market as well. Went even higher in pre-market. That's a strong sign. Don't know if there's any news or something that might have dropped in pre-market. Weekly chart is not great looking on Microsoft, but definitely improving on the shorter term time frames. Norwegian Cruise Line off the lows here. Looks like it's actually above the downtrend. So let's draw this out like this. Go here like this, like this. So you can see we've closed above this downtrend you know, up here, putting in a new high, downtrend break, putting in a new high. Let the 9 catch up here. See if it holds this 250. If this 9 catches up in two or 3 days, this could be a nice buy for price as memory target. Price has memory target on the way up. Watch your range highs on the way up. This may be ready in a few days for a decent trade. It could happen tomorrow, but if they don't come for it, if they come for it in inflows, it could spark some ambition there tomorrow, but I would wait for that 9 to get closer if you can. So let's save that like this, and let's get back to business. NVIDIA, I'm not crazy about this chart. You can see low, lower low, lower low. You know, you can see the downtrend here. It broke shorter term trend. Let's see if we can take a look at the weekly 15-minute. Here's the weekly. So the weekly is still showing an uptrend for now. I'd like it better when we put in the high continues higher. I'm not crazy about that MACD right there. Got the drowning goose setting up on the MACD. And it could just be consolidating. You can look back and see a period of consolidation here as well. But we're a little hotter on our MACD than what we were there. That doesn't mean it's going to fail and it's going to fall apart. You can see the goose head trying to form. Got a little long there. That might be just what it's trying to do, is get a little long and go higher. I think it needs, if you're trying to buy and hold, I think it needs a little bit more time. NVIDIA 15. All right, let's go back to the daily. Yeah, I mean, I think it's worth watching here, but it needs a little more, and you know, a little more data before we get too carried away with it. We did break the downtrend. This would have been the downtrend right there. So it did close above the downtrend, and now it got shot back up underneath of it. So I would love to see it back above that area. For me, I want to see it back above this area. That top Bollinger Band looks like it's getting lazy right now. And let's continue on. Look at that. This is the NASDAQ composite. That's not a great looking chart. So right now, you know, it did break the trend, try to push up, put in a new high off the lows. If this is a low and we go higher, even if it doesn't want to dip in a little bit and it puts in a low and goes higher, that would be a great look. Right now, until it clears that area, I'm not super interested into it. That big candle's range right there was broken. We went below it and got back, you know, back into that candle range. I'd really like to see that whole candle range and see it get back up here on its way up to that new, their testy all-time high now is what I would like to see. Netflix, this is another really nice chart. So you kind of got a V bottom here as well. Not the best. It's closed above. Didn't really pull back and put in the handle there. But right now it's consolidating. This 9 looks like it wants to go higher. This bottom band is coming in, trying to follow price up. I would like to get a better look at that top band, but hopefully it's angled higher. Did get the higher close. Like it better when it clears the wicks up there, but this is your volume profile bar, and we are holding above that. MACD is trying to heat up here as well. That's a nice looking chart. Money starting to come back in. It still may need a day or two, and it may fail here, and it may chop for another week, but this chart is looking bullish. I would be keeping an eye on that if you're looking for that type of trade. Other Qs, pull back to that 9, pushed higher, was a high closed candle, but still closed low on the week. Oh, wait a minute. No, it closed higher than what it did close last week. So it's got some bullishness in that candle. It's not quite a pin bar. Can't really call it a pin bar, but you know, the buyers did. It was down. The buyer did come back and take it back. Not weak. It's a month candle. Riot got a possible double bottom in this area. I need to see something out of Bitcoin. SMCI weekly breaking down lower here. Do have a tower top right here, breaking lower. I prefer to see that on the top of the chart, but breaking lower, it is into a downtrend. The buyers did look like they tried to come back into a little bit and failed, expanding volume there. Let's go to the daily. A lower low here, so you put in a low, lower high, lower low. Price waves are getting short. They tried to come for it Friday. Looks like it was a battle there. You see it going in both directions. Opened up, went down. The buyers did try to come back and get it at some point, but still a low close on the day. Close below the previous day's close. Not crazy about that chart. Price waves getting tight there. I don't see anything there. It's just not for me. It's not my style. SMH, you got the 9 and 20 right there. Tesla, 15-minute, trying to go higher. XLK. Got your 50 there for acting as resistance on the daily, the weekly holding that 9. Actually, I'm sorry, that's the monthly holding that 9. Tesla holding the 50 for support. You can see we got a previous area in here as well, consolidation area. So we're watching that area for support, and we are trying to hold that for now. Tesla week or Tesla daily. That was Tesla's weekly there. Yes, Tesla's daily higher low, slightly closed right on or possibly a little above the 9. The 50 on this is still angled higher, where some of these other names have a declining 50-day. This one is still angled higher, or at least at this point in time. So maybe worth watching there. United Airlines, this isn't a downtrend, but it's testing the downtrend. This bottom band is trying to open up. I like this MACD. The MACD is decent, but it is in negative territory. Prefer to be at above the 0 line. Could watch for a 0 line breakout, reversal below this 50 and 200. If we take the downtrend out, we get a close below that 50 and 200, and give time to lift the 9, maybe to consolidate a little bit or something. This is worth keeping an eye on. This may want to break lower too. Like I say, some of these charts are. That's right where they are right now at a decision point. Uber, not a bad looking chart, just kind of consolidating, hanging out, waiting to see some more action there. Wells Fargo high close here. I would draw a trend line through there. I do like this bottom or this top Bollinger Band opening up like that. The bottom Bollinger Band is not. I'd watch that for tomorrow to see if that one wants to open up. Would like to see, obviously, as always, we want to see range highs. Trade up to your range high. Be ready to take profits at the range high. We're trying to bust through the 0 line right now on the MACD on that one. Walmart, what can I say? Gap up, trying to go higher. I guess earnings are probably good on that one. XLE, trying to go higher. I like to see it break out. Just still chopping in an area right now. XLF definitely strong, going higher. SPX, there's your V bottom and handle marked out right now. So we were in a downtrend. We broke trend here. Hopefully we're putting in a low, which is the handle. It's all a cup and handle. V bottom, we talked about this at the beginning of the video. V bottom is part of the cup and handle family. So your Bukowski says the probabilities on a V bottom are not as good as the probabilities on a good, nice, round, perfect looking little coffee cup. But anyway, I don't pay any mind to any of that. I trade what's in front of me on my chart. So if it breaks out and I'm on it, I'm on it. If it breaks out or it doesn't break out, it's a decision I have to make on the chart, not just the pattern. So slightly higher closed candle there, trying to get up out of this area, but I like to see it up above that area. It definitely looks good. I mean, it's definitely a sign of, I mean, you got your trend change right there. You're trying, we're just at a decision point. If it's going to go, we should know within a few days, and flows may be able to spark it. Weekly SPX, looking for a higher close up there. Monthly SPX, you can see they closed it on a pin bar. Bulls did come back. The diamond, higher close there on the weekly, or on the daily, on the weekly higher close. The weekly chart looks great on the diamond. The SPY, same setup. I didn't draw it out. Same setup we just looked at on SPX. You got your level up here that needs to be cleared. Clearing all-time highs is what we're looking for here. Use that level as your next level. Please watch your wick up there and any pre-market data. We've already talked about that. Please watch your pre-market data as well. SPY weekly, still looking for a higher high up there, hopefully this week. Same thing, monthly, nice strong close candle. SPY 15, strong move at the end of the day. Nice rage there. This is the SPY hourly chart. Looking to see a close above this area. Would really like to see that. Close above this area, and then if you go back or get above this area as well. But right now we're struggling with this area right here that we put in on like the 26th, and go back here to June or July 17th, 18th area, 16th area on that close. TLT coming in, big move down. IWM, a little bit of rejection, still possible move up there. I don't know on that chart. IWM daily. I don't know. I'm leery of this one right now. Rates, they cut rates, man. Small caps are probably going to blow up. But until then, I think it's all games. I don't know. Just not interested to see some real action there. And it's the end of our video. I hope everybody has a great holiday weekend. Please, if you're going to drive, please be safe. Or if you're going to drink, please be safe and not drive. Hope everybody has a great, safe, and productive holiday weekend. See everybody in the chat.